ostrich. She lost the kid to the lions. Yes, she did. Down at the watering hole, where all the animals come to drink.
Welcome back to IndieX 2025. Yes, it's me again, but I swear this is my last session for today at least. And I am very, very glad to be introducing you the next session, the next game, which is going to be Deck of Hounds by Mantis Games. And I have the utmost pleasure to have with me San and Tim, senior artist and senior programmer. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Tim and San. How excited are you to be here talking about Deck of Hounds? Starting with you, Tim. Tim, yes, okay. Because since it's Tim and San, I'm afraid of I don't know, saying Tin and
That's
Sam.
fine.
So I'm sorry in advance, but how excited are you for being here, talking a little bit about Deck of Haunts?
Yeah, it's very exciting. For me personally, it's the first time being part of such a live event.
Oh,
So that brings some nerves, but it's all positive. It's very
good.
cool to see that the game we made appeals to people enough to be here in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting.
What about you, Sen? Sen?
Yeah, same for me. It's the first time also doing sort of like a live interview or session for Deck of Hands. So yeah, I was a bit nervous, but I'm looking forward to showing
Yeah.
the game.
It's fine. The ones who should be nervous are the humans of this game, or me, because I usually get my heart destroyed on every run. As I was saying on as we head into the game, and as I was saying on backstage, I had to be dragged yesterday to go to bed and sleep because I couldn't stop playing this for a
Nice.
long time. And I would like to start off talking about both of your roles within the team and within this particular game, because you mentioned this is the first live event, at least for Deck of Hunt. So, Tim, starting with you, what exactly, so people seeing watching us can understand what exactly you know was your
Um,
role, what were you doing, what were you responsible for in Deck of
so I
Hunts?
was the senior programmer for Deck of Hands from the very start of the development until now, post-launch. We're still making a lot of content, and most of that is through me. If we want to add new cards, it has to be programmed. And at this point, I'm the solo programmer. So
Oh.
we used to have another programmer during most of the project,
Mm-hmm.
but since then he's left the company. So now all the programming is being handled by me.
Oh, I can
A
imagine
lot of
it can be
responsibility.
a lot of responsibility. What about you, San, in terms of being the senior artist? What does that mean?
Yeah, so I was kind of responsible for creating the art style, and yeah, because we're a small team, we do
Mm-hmm.
bit of everything. So I'm also doing a little bit of design. Mostly design the cards. So if you find any cards that are too strong or too weak, that's my fault. And other than that, also a lot of the UI and a bit of testing and.
What I really love, and to start off showing the game, what I would love first of one is the version 666, which is very thematic, and then all the design of the cards themselves. Like, again, as you said, these are the basic card shaped things. I'm going to start a new run on easy to see if I can finally survive the night, because I couldn't yet. And I think what I feel like I'm the best with is the damage.
It's the most straightforward deck, I think.
Though I like the sanity more. But let's start talking about the game itself and about the idea. So the idea here is to be the haunting house, right? Where did it come from? How did it start?
So it started in 2019 with Mantis Games, but it was a whole different crew back then. I was still part of the original gang, and then my new colleagues joined afterwards only. But it was in 2019 where we finished our first game. It was a VR game, Journey for Elysium. We were brainstorming about what we would want to do next, because we kind of wanted to make a game that would hopefully be popular, but also something that we wanted to play ourselves. And at that point, we were very into card games and roguelikes. And we did a lot of brainstorm sessions about tons of different ideas and things, and then just going back to our own spaces and thinking of new things, trying stuff out in coding or just on paper. And during one of the brainstorm sessions, you're trying to think of concepts like invert it or add something else to it, trying to do some exercises in coming up with creative concepts. And one of the concepts that sticked the most was you are the haunted house and we need to kill the people instead of the other way around. And
that is actually amazing, and I'm sorry to interrupt you here, because I do love horror. I do love the horror genre, but I'm actually too afraid or too scared to actually play horror games. So this is pretty cool because I can actually have the feeling of the horror game, but without all this. I mean, I do have the stress, but it's kind of different. I'm the one haunting, so it's a pretty cool thing.
Here. Yeah, it's the horror team, but you're doing the jump scares, so it's less scary for yourself.
Yeah.
And when we pitched the idea to people, they always said oh, that's a really amazing idea. It's very original and creative, and so kind of gave us the confidence that there was really something interesting to develop further. And it took a few years because we had to put it in the freezer due to COVID and other issues. But we had to take a bit of a leap of faith to create it. But now it's out in the world, and we're very happy with it.
Tell me a little bit about that leap of faith, about those hard times, because...
So making games costs a lot of money. So you need a lot of money, and we didn't have a lot. So what we kind of did for a few years is consultancy and work for hire for other companies. So that was also a nice experience because, you switch a lot between video games or more educational applications. But at the end of the day, making video games is the most fun, so we kind of saved some money from that. Looking for a publisher was also a bit of a challenge, and at the end of the day, DANGEN, we signed a contract with them. So we finally had a publisher after a long time. But it was always a bit stressful because we had a low amount of money and it was running out quickly, so I always have the stress of trying to find something that sticks to continue developing. But I think it happened multiple times that a few weeks or maybe a month or two from reaching zero budget, we always found something to get us a few months further again, and I'm happy that kind of like dragging the bank account to the lowest amounts every time. But
yeah, I can imagine that it can be very stressful. So you were from the beginning, but let's talk then. Really starting and coming to place. So the idea is you have a house. You have, and for those who don't know the game, I'm just explaining here. You have the heart room, right? And you have humans spawning in some of the entrances that right now. Oh, I'm not in the level, so you cannot see, but it can be here, and they spawn. Is it random? Where
so
they
most of the humans spawn in the entrance. There's only where your mouse is right now. There's a couple of humans who have special traits, and they can spawn in random places,
locations,
but only on the outside of the house.
Yeah, the idea is to be expanding the house and giving. So they take longer to reach to the heart room, because once they reach there, you have 8 points of life, and once they reach there, one less, right? And the idea is to necessarily kill, but at least make them go insane. That is the whole objective of the game, while building the mansion, which is, I mean, this is amazing. So the core concept was this. Talking a little bit about the art, talking a little bit of making it come alive, especially given the restraints in terms of budgeting, in terms of money. How challenging was it? Like, would you come up with something, a cool concept, and trying to make it alive? Was it the other way around? Was it a mix of both?
So for the art, the first thing we try to focus on is like, okay, what kind of feeling do we want to give the player? And it's like you said, like we want to have like horror vibes, but without the actual jump scares or spookiness, because you're the one haunting. So we want to have this like mysterious nighttime feeling that you see like in a lot of horror movies or thrillers. And starting from that, we kind of deduced our sort of color scheme, and art style, because we have a lot of Art Deco elements, which we decided early on in development to have, because it's a bit like breaking with the stereotypes of just like, you know, the very basic horror things, which are still there, but it's a little bit like different in like we did it a bit more our way. The easy part for creating the art is that it's only one level, so that was easy. The hard part is it's all procedural, so it's being made
it's
during.
only one level.
So that was kind of easy, but then the hard part was like making everything connect to each other, because you're building the house while you're playing the game. So all those things need to be done by the computer at runtime. So that was kind of challenging at times to, you know, make that logic work, make it performant, because of course you still need to be able to run it on a normal PC, not just like the very strong PCs.
Okay, the sun just answered. There was a question in chat about the aesthetics, the art, and such, but you have already answered it. Coming up with this, you mentioned that you were into card games, and it's procedural, but it has to have a complexity or a difficulty coming up from each level, and you know, the deck building part is something that I assume would give you a little bit of headaches in the overall thing. So how was it to think about, you know, all of this, all of the from the deck building to the procedural, the generating part to the you know, there are lots of different effects that interact differently with each other. So tell me a little bit about it.
Maybe I'll let Tim talk a bit about the generation of the house, because you had a lot of...
So originally, Deck of Hands wasn't really made to have a building phase. The level was
Oh,
kind of supposed to be a set layout. And then at some point, someone was like, "Oh, it would be cool if you could change this." And then we thought, "Damn, yeah, that would be
yeah.
cool." So
Very cool indeed.
we threw together a quick prototype with a bunch of assets we already had or had at that point. It didn't look very good, but it worked, and it was indeed a lot more fun to be able to decide what the house looks like yourself. And
Yeah.
that opened up a whole other space for design with the different rooms and how they interact with each other and their neighbors.
Right.
Creates some meta game for optimal layouts that keep the people busy for as long as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it evolved a lot. The grid we use now also went through an iteration where it used to be just 2x2 rooms that you could move around. And then someone again said like, "Oh, I want more control over how everything looks." So then we subdivided the rooms to the little 1x1 tiles you can build now. And that
Oh
was a little
dear.
bit of a headache to Frankenstein the system into doing that. But it all worked out, and I think that was a change for the better to
Yeah.
really give the player that control.
One of the in-between iterations was that you couldn't choose the size or shape of the rooms yourself. You had like sort of Tetris
Ooh.
shapes, but it kind of felt too much like just a haunted house Tetris. So we're happier now with the current iteration. It adds a lot more like individuality to how you want to develop your house.
Yeah. Yeah. And about like, okay, so you have the house, you have the cards, and of course you have like this different two different mechanics, which is the drain and the damage, the sanity and the health. Tell me a little bit of your inspiration to this.
Yeah.
First
so
of all, and then the developing part of both mechanics.
All right. So yeah, for developing, I guess pretty early on, we wanted like health and sanity because it's also
Sure if it was me who stopped hearing you, or is it from your side? Okay, let us wait a little bit to see if we fix this kind of connection. And in the meantime, I will keep on showing what I'm doing here. So essentially, I'm using a deck of damage. Okay, back. Okay, welcome back. Sorry, I lost you for a moment there.
it's fine.
So
it's on our end.
yeah,
because they're working on
I
the
was-
internet here.
I was about the inspiration for these two mechanics, right?
Yes, exactly.
And I kind of lost you there.
Yeah. All right. So I'll restart. So yeah, kind of early on, we already decided that we wanted to have both health and sanity, because you see in a lot of horror movies, like it's either like a slasher movie, like you're physically killing people, so that's just the health bar. But then also there's also like psychological horror movies or tropes where it's just like all in people's heads and they're going crazy. So we kind of wanted to have both options to fulfill your horror fantasies. It was kind of hard to combine it because you have two different health bars basically, and sometimes if you say like, oh, I only want to do damage, and it's kind of useless to have train cards. And over time it kind of evolved, so there's a little bit more support, there's different kinds of decks, so if you only want to play damage, you just take damage deck and do that. So the third mechanic is the tension. On default, it just applies to the sanity, because like it's sort of like the moment before the jump scare, it builds up, and then the jump scare happens, and it's extra scary because the moments before we're like extra quiet and whatever, and that's kind of like the tension we have right now. So when there's a scare, the tension multiplies, like in our game, literally. The jump scare. So that was kind of the things we really wanted to have, because like just the fantasy of being the haunted house and scaring people and like being stronger when you get into their heads more.
Yeah, kind
The cops have arrived on the scene.
yeah, it kind of gives me. I mean, I'm a huge Lovecraftian fan.
Nice.
So thematically, the sanity mechanic, like even in board games, in this kind of things, does make a lot of sense, and I think that is where it actually can get scary. This is more than the gory thing, and again, being the person who's choosing how to scare people is amazing.
Yeah, thank
So I have here a question, which is: have you ever played Eternal Darkness? That has a great sanity mechanic.
I have not played it. I think I've heard it before, but I haven't played the game. I don't know if it's a board game or a video game, but
Yeah,
I haven't played it yet.
I'm not quite sure. Again, I usually do not play horror games unless they are board games, because it's a little bit easier to control my my anxiety, right?
Tim is looking it up.
Okay.
I haven't played it yet.
Is it a GameCube exclusive?
Very specific.
I think I have seen it before, but I haven't played it.
Yeah. So in terms of kind of inspiration of, you know, what made you make the game as it is right now, would you say, you know, what kind of games inspired you, like state of art, that you know, try to check mechanics from?
Yeah. You wanna take this one?
Yeah, so one of the things, and we see it in reviews as well, is Ghostmaster. It's a bit old and maybe not that well known, but it's the similar trope of being the bad guy and having to scare the people that come to the house. So there's a lot of overlap there. And then for the card building, deck building aspects, definitely Slay the Spire. I think we're both very big fans. And early on in the development, when I was just doing how the player interacts with the cards, I was basically just opening Slay the Spire. How do they do it? Okay, that feels nice. I'm gonna try to do it similarly. So there's a lot of Slay the Spire influence on the card play.
Yeah, I think people who played Slay the Spire will notice a lot of similar card designs. That's also like handy for us that we didn't need to reinvent the wheel. But yeah, kind of our own twists, because we really also love the design. Slay the Spire is very sleek, and we try to translate that philosophy in our cards. We try to give we don't try to do too much in one card, so you're not overwhelmed by reading or like 10 different keywords. Try to keep it as simple as we can, but still interesting.
Yeah.
So, our main philosophy is like, let a card do one or two things, and then you need like another card to like make it really strong.
So what I'm going here for, and I would love to hear your take, because I couldn't survive a night. And I tried a lot. Okay, yeah. I've been awake for too long through through the night to play this, because it's very entertaining and it's a very interesting game. But where I went the farthest was with this game. Now, where can I see my deck? I cannot.
Yeah, during the building phase. You
can see. Okay, but yeah. So what I was actually doing here was I'm making sure that I have a 12 tiles room, so I can have the rehearsal room or the those kind of. Yep. That was not very smart, because now I see that probably the human that comes here goes to the heart, and if it triggers again at the start of the next turn, it will already have triggered the heart. So this was not very smart. I have now seen my mistake.
Yeah, you also
But
need
in
a
any
bit of
case,
you also need some small rooms to like stagger them a bit more. What also helps is moving rooms around, because right now I think they can reach it in about 4 turns. So yeah, if you move them a bit more around like that, you can stagger few humans who like take the wrong way, and then they'll have to go all the
yeah.
way back, or just put like a really long corridor so they take extra turns to reach the heart.
Okay, that is actually a good idea. So what I'm going for in this build is damage, right?
Yeah.
And I really like this card because for each forbidden fragment banished, you deal more damage, right?
Yeah.
So it gets better and better each time you use it. And okay, I have here my deck, and I removed the one that is can to move to a random room because
Yeah,
I like random things.
that's true.
And I would definitely, with my luck, they would go closer to the heart. So I always remove that one.
Yeah.
Is there any specific, kind of comment that you would have in the way that I have placed things as they are right now?
Well, for the move cards, it does make them skip a turn. So even if they're close to the heart, they still don't move for that turn. So that she also, it's a bit risky, or it's a bit of a risky card, but because they skip the turn afterwards, you still have some extra breathing room to think about it the
Right.
turn afterwards. So that's
Right.
usually still a good card to have, even though it's random, because also it moves any human away. So there's also a few cards that have like you can only target if a human is alone in a room.
Yeah.
They're usually stronger, so it's also good to split people up, because we also wanted to have the fantasy of people entering a group and you're the one like manipulating them into splitting up and
Yeah.
killing them off one by one, and somebody sees the body and wants to run away, but
Tell me a little bit about this runaway thing, because what are the consequences of running away?
Yeah, so in the base game, there's not many consequences. I think the only consequence is that you don't get their essence. Because if you kill a human or you turn somebody insane, you get some essence, which is basically money or currency in this game. So if they escape, you don't get the money. But there's also more difficulty settings that you can unlock later if you complete the game, where you also take extra damage or have some extra downsides if they're escaping. But in the easy version, there's not that many consequences. But of course, the more money you have, the stronger
the
you
best
become.
for the stronger your house can get, right?
Yeah. That's also a strategy, kind of similar what you're doing right now, like killing somebody off the room before the heart room. So if people enter,
So
they
they
want to
run
run away.
away
So, yeah.
and not deal damage. Yes, that's what I've been trying to aim for. I don't always succeed. But that's the thing. How how do you? Sorry.
That you're doing well right now in the run.
Okay, yeah, because I have
Well,
this little friends monsters here. Wait, watch. Any cards played? This one is pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Or you have another forbidden fragment, so the others become even more strong.
I like this one, but I like this one upgraded.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to take this one. And you would say to to try and put more like little rooms around.
Yeah, to stagger
like
them.
This.
I think one of the hardest design challenges we faced, which still isn't really solved yet, is like placing a lot of small rooms around. It's very powerful. But instead of trying to like fix it, because it's not really a broken thing, it's just like a stronger tactic than building a lot of large rooms. We try to encourage like there's like a few cards in there now that encourage like people making bigger rooms, so you have like both playstyles are valid. Because
Right. So I'm going to try and use this. It's fine because I'm going to discard both cards, but now the tension is up. And so the tension here, tell me a little bit more about the tension mechanic and how it, interacts with the others.
Yeah, so basically it's a multiplier for sanity damage. So you have 3 years of tension. So if you're at 0, you do normal amount of sanity damage. And then it goes to ×2, ×4, ×6. So the last tier, it's really like a big nuke. It only works on sanity. So from the get-go, you don't have synergy with damage. I'm not sure if you have cards right now.
Oh my god, this was so bad. Because, okay, so what happened here was there was a human here, he got scared by my drowned tormentor, right? And it ran to the heart.
I think that human, he has a trait that he can move twice, so he wasn't scared by the tormentor, but
and move an additional
he moves 2
room.
times in the turn. Yeah.
So this is something that I haven't been, checking as much as I would.
It's a lot of info with all the traits.
Yeah. So this one moves an additional one. This one, creatures avoid this room when not alone, half the drain effects. So this one spawns another human. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. And I'm going to kill him. And maybe. So this one is just, the tension just affects the drain part, right?
Yeah, but you also
I
have
shouldn't be focusing on this one.
No, with your current deck, you shouldn't focus on this one. The reason it's still in the damage deck is because there's other cards that synergize with tension and damage. That you can discover throughout the run, and also for discard synergy. So there's a few cards that have benefits when being discarded or when you discard another card. Because we felt that otherwise, if you don't start with something that can discard, a lot of people just ignore like the discard synergy cards because they don't have anything yet, but you will also never pick one. So it's kind of like opening a bit of design space for doing that archetype from the get-go.
Right. So I don't think I will survive for that longer. But we'll see. There's
also a few events where you can heal up a bit again.
Yeah. I like this kind of cards. They are a bit expensive.
Yeah.
But they can be game changers.
Yeah, exactly. I also like that one.
Anything in particular that that you feel like or that you would highlight from this game? As I assume that you are also, I'm not gonna do anything. Also as as fans of games, what excites you the most about it?
That's a very good question. I think one of the things we see in some reviews, and that makes me proud that we made this game, is that it's quite accessible. There's a lot of people who have said like, oh, I want to get into deck building games, but I tried Slay the Spire or whatever, and it's too difficult. And then they find Deck of Hounds, and it seems to be the right amount of challenge to get them into deck building. So that's cool to me that we managed to make a good entry into the genre of deck builders. And of course, there's the Nightmare mode, which adds incremental challenges for the more diehard deck builders. So I think Deck of Hounds has a little bit of everything for everyone.
End of sales pitch. I think.
What about you?
Yeah, for me, I think one of the earliest happy moments I had was when I was designing the initial batch of cards that we had during the first launch of the game. There's a lot of like different moving parts on the cards, and like just discovering like synergies that you didn't think about or didn't intend to do, but they're still there, was like really have like a great feeling, because you feel like, oh, it's like, you know, the sum of the parts is bigger than things
Yeah.
you thought of yourself. That was really nice, because like I was like playtesting, like, oh, this also works with that, and I didn't think about that yet, and you have like some nice
Yeah.
synergies there. So that was one of the first like feel good moments about the game. And also like the community interaction was really great, because I think when we launched the game, there was a lot of interest and feedback, and I think if we waited a few more months on just developing it and not releasing it to the public yet, I think it would have been a worse game, just because there would have been less feedback on it, and we would have moved in a direction that, you know, that we wanted, but maybe, you know, other people didn't really like.
Wouldn't enjoy it as much. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah, I can see that.
getting that early feedback was nice. I think releasing a demo made people come to our Discord already, and then like
Oh, that is nice.
a few of the active members from the Discord, then we invited them like, hey, do you want to like private test, like a test version of the game to get some feedback? Because we let our friends play test, but I think it's a lot more valuable to have like you know,
Other
random people who are interested come to the game from you know, like from a consumer perspective.
Right.
It gave us a lot of insight and good feedback to making the game better.
Yeah. I have two questions here on the chat. Is, can you rotate that isometric view?
No.
So, and have you considered this in the beginning?
Yeah, it's actually still somewhere in the backlog of when we have time. let's make that happen.
Okay.
But it's not a priority. There's bigger things we have worked on or are working on.
Right.
But yeah, we are aware that it would be nice to have.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. And the second question here is, are you working towards making this game Steam Deck verified?
Yeah, we actually recently sent another version to Steam to do another round of verification. But the biggest challenge on Steam Deck is legibility, like the size of the text.
It's the biggest challenge, I think, right now.
So the feedback from Steam was still kind of the same, that it's still too small. So for the future, we will probably add a slider for text size, so you can just choose how big the text is, and then have the text on the cards auto scroll. Because now it always scales to fit, but that results in some small text on the more wordy cards. So, but we are looking into the full Steam Deck verification.
Yeah.
Cool.
The added challenge is that in other languages it's probably a lot wordier on the cards. So
yeah, looking at you, German.
Yeah, because Steam Deck screen is too small for things that have a lot of text. So a lot of deck builders have that issue. Yeah. But there is some feedback here saying that the game works on Steam Deck.
Yeah, it works for now. It's sometimes a little bit, the text is a bit smaller than most people would be comfortable with, but yeah, it's still very playable at the current time.
Right.
It's just not verified yet. I think there's just a question mark, because there's still a few issues, like text is too small and some input still needs some extra work on it.
All right, so I'm thinking that I'm making here some bad decisions, but yeah, I think I'm going to get one more hit on my heart, but it's fine. And I think I'm gonna make it, right?
Yeah, you should be able to make it.
Let's see if I'm able to. Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. Okay, Team Deck of Hounds. I think this is very very interesting to have like this roguelike also component of the game, because you know you can get pretty stuck if you only have the first amount of cards, or if you can start building more things. Tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about your thought process and designing process of those those steps and those little developments.
Or like the roguelike elements, you mean?
The roguelite, the balancing, so making sure that people would, the part of replayability as well, and then
Yeah.
of people don't feeling frustrated about failing over and over again. Just
Yes.
bad, which is also can be perfectly the case, but yeah, essentially that was sort of the question.
No, yeah, I think balancing is really hard to nail down because some people are saying it's too easy, other people are saying it's too hard. And if you hear both things, then it's sort of like a balancing issue because some cards are overpowered, some cards are too weak, and some people are like, oh, this card looks cool, but it's kind of weak, so that's why they fail a lot of times. And then other people like the design or like the things you can abuse click more easy than other people, so for them it's too easy because they already found like the most optimal way to play. Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to get to initially, but I think once it clicks, it can be still challenging, but the experience is smoother than than initially if you like, oh, what's going on? I didn't know any of these things. But that's why we also have like the the easy mode, normal, and hard, and we have a lot of difficulty modifiers beyond that. So I think people who want a harder challenge, there's always an extra layer you can add to it to make it challenging. Yeah, to make it easier. Yeah, as you said, you unlock things as you level up. You don't really have like roguelite elements like, oh, next time you have like plus 5% of this, plus 5% of that. It's mostly like your experience of you, the player, like, what you already know about the game. But also you have the different decks that you unlock and newer cards that are a bit more complex, but also a bit more stronger and interesting than basic cards.
Yeah, I'm going to start another run on just to show a little bit of the drain cards. But you are nominated for most innovative this year, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about it? How does that make you feel? And
I'll leave it to Tim.
Yeah, it's nice to be nominated for anything, but in a category like most innovative, it's very flattering for the design work. The design of the game has been kind of a collaborative effort with the whole team. Some people obviously doing more heavy lifting there than others. But yeah, being called innovative in a market where hundreds of Steam games appear every single day, it's quite an honor. And yeah, we at the end of the day just also blended a bunch of our influences and inspirations. So it's nice to hear that the result of that seems innovative and new to people instead of just repackaging existing mechanics or whatever. Feels good.
and it's definitely a good one, because again, while it feels like it has lots of different it is familiar in lots of different ways, in lots of different mechanics, it really mixes them up, and they are actually different, right? And it has this kind of different feeling, which is cool. Try now the shifting hallways to see the thing that, yeah.
So now it has like a symbol above it that it's gonna, when you end the
Yeah,
turn,
it's,
that person is not gonna move.
yeah, that is good. I didn't notice before, so
But it makes sense because we have, with the wording on the cards, we only have so many lines we can use, and there's always a couple of hidden interactions that once you use it a
yeah,
few
of
times you get
course.
it. But it's hard to. We don't want to bombard players with all the information, but we also don't want to, hide too much. So it's a little bit of
Right.
a game where, like, how much am I going to write on this card before it becomes like a whole
Yeah.
book.
I can see that it can be hard. Now we are running out of time, and as much as I would love, to keep on going forever, because I would love that. We have many other games to
Yeah.
show, but I would love to at least give you the time, and to give you to use the couple of minutes that we still have left to ask you, um, what would anything that you would like to share about the game, or anything that you would like to say to the people that are watching us right now on stream?
I have to think. Deck of Hands is on Steam. We recently released a Halloween update, and the update before that was our biggest update yet, with like added the creatures to it. And we're still gonna release a few patches. Yeah, it's out on Steam now soon, but we can't say a date yet for consoles.
Okay.
It's gonna be on Xbox, PlayStation, and
Cool.
Switch.
Nice.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
We're also currently working on a scenario builder. So we are going to have some Steam Workshop integration where people can basically configure a run of which humans will be coming to the house themselves.
That is so cool.
And depending on the
Yeah.
feedback from tests.
Right. Oh, did we lose you again? I think we lost them again. But in any case, let me wait a couple of seconds to see if they are back. Maybe not. Maybe not. But again, hopefully you will hear me. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I really enjoyed playing this. I really enjoyed the time that we spent talking here.
We're back.
We will go for a short break, but there will be way more sessions today. Next up with Ricardo Correia is going to be Reggie, his cousin, or Reggie, his cousin. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere.